Ew, big fish-ish. Y'all know what it is. We back with the Big Fish Talk. Can't do a show tomorrow. Still may or may not do a show tonight, but wanted to hop on, do a Big Fish talk about some of the topics that we didn't get to talk about on Monday or Wednesday. We got to get to these topics. So we're going to get right into it. The first topic that I want to discuss is the situation with the Colorado State safety. I believe his name is Henry Blackburn, in which he hit Travis Hunter. If y'all saw the game, there was a late hit in which Travis Hunter, I believe he lacerated or something happened with his ribs, or no, it lacerated his liver or something like that. We'll double check on that. Matter of fact, let's real quick look at the injury. And then we're gonna get into the video, go over because I got a comment on it. Got a comment, got to give my insights on it. And hold on, let me just make sure that I'm saying the right thing as far as lacerated liver. So we're gonna take a look at the video, and I've gone back and forth on kind of my thoughts on it, but not really. But I will tell you that the last time that I just looked at it, it did kind of shift a little bit. So let's get into this video. We already have it queued up for y'all, and we're going to have a nice little discussion on that. Let me make sure that I'm all right. Boom. Got to get your camera game right. You heard? All right. So let's take a look at the video.
And just executing sound fundamentals.
Got to look at Sean Lewis, the offensive coordinator. Moment ago, downfield, incomplete, but a flag down intended for Hunter, who took a shot afterwards by Henry Blackburn. And now some words, Shadur Sanders coming to the aid of his #1 target there.
Yeah, look, I'll tell you, as a former safety, that's a very dumb play on the part of Henry Blackburn. I understand you may be trying to send a message, but that right there, the ball had already hit the ground. You see number 11, you see he's not even close to catching the football. I mean, he's already gearing down, and the play's basically over.
That's a blatant penalty.
Yeah, that just makes no sense.
Yeah.
That's dumb football. I understand this is a rivalry and you're hyped up, but you're up. You're up by a touchdown. You guys are playing good football.
There are 2 fouls on the play by the defense. Both fouls will be
And it was pass interference.
Pass interference. Defense number 11. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 15 of the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
All right, so apparently this guy, Henry Blackburn, he's receiving death threats, and Deion and Travis Hunter both came out and said that, I'm glad they did. They said that, nobody deserves death threats over this. At first, when I was discussing it, like even yesterday and the day before, I was talking to my parents and I said, I don't think it was a dirty hit, but it was a late hit. It was a cheap shot. It was a cheap shot. And the only reason why I'm saying it wasn't dirty is because it was so weak. It was like a little weak shot. If it was especially now looking at that last angle, and we'll go back to the beginning where you see that the ball had already hit the ground. The fact that the ball already hit the ground, and you guys can see it right here. Let me make sure that you guys can see it.
You see number 11. You see he's not even close to catching the football.
It took 3 steps after the ball hit the ground. Yeah, that's a cheap shot. Like I said, the only reason why I was hesitant to call it dirty is because it was like a soft hit kind of, but still can do a lot of damage because obviously Travis Hunter, he's not bracing for that because it's so far out of the play. He was already getting a pass interference penalty called on him. So he was kind of out of position, caught in a weird position. And then this guy Blackburn, he comes in, makes a hit. So if I had to be forced whether or not to say whether it's dirty or cheap, I would say that it is dirty. It was an attempt at a dirty play, but I scale back on saying that it's dirty because I don't think that he hit him with all his might. Blackburn, although he did hit him, although it was a cheap shot, although it was well after the play, and although he should be held accountable for all that, even if that's a suspension, whatever it may be, that needs to be addressed. You can't hit somebody that late after the play, especially when they're in a vulnerable, defenseless position. I think that's the main point. The fact that Travis Hunter was in a defenseless position. He was in a defenseless position, and the ball had already hit the ground, and you took like 3 more steps. Travis took 3 steps, and then you're hitting them to take like a little cheap shot. And I think that Henry Blackburn was doing it on purpose to send a message. It just is what it is. I got to call it straightforward. One thing that I will say is that it happens. It happens, especially in a game like this where there's so many, there's a lot of emotions involved, and you are just so hyped up for it. I'm not sure if you all have played or you all have kind of been in this position before, but I can remember in college playing a rival, playing Villanova. I couldn't stand Villanova. Healthy competition. Couldn't stand them. It wasn't like I thought that they were, dirty or anything like that. I just couldn't stand them because they were good. They were good. They beat us. They handed me probably one of my most embarrassing games that I ever played. So therefore, for me, it was personal. Like I was juiced up. I think this was maybe junior year, sophomore year. I fumbled a kick return. Like it was just bad. And somebody scored on me. So junior year, it was senior year. And it was the first time we played them because we played them twice that year. We played them in the playoffs, lost both games. And I can remember this wide receiver, the Villanova scored, and I just thought that he was doing too much. Like, relax, bro. Y'all already scored. And I was just so hyped up. I just turned around and just stole, dude. Like, I just hit him in his helmet right in front of the ref. And I don't know what happened. I just lost control. I was not in control at that moment. This was like the first drive. Like my emotions were so high. So long story short, it was still, now I didn't think I was going to hurt Buddy. And that's a little bit different. We both standing in front of each other. And obviously he has a helmet on. Probably hurt my hand more than I hurt him. But it was still a play that I allowed myself to get out of character to get out of character because it was after the play. Nothing wrong. You can be a little nasty during the play, not cheap, not dirty, but you can be definitely aggressive during the play. I mean, during obviously, when you're in the actual competition, but after the play, you can't do those things, and you should never be, hitting anybody in the helmet like that. But I just lost control. So why I'm saying that is because I can totally understand why or how this guy Henry, what's his last name? Why Henry Blackburn could make a decision like that. But to be totally honest, the more like when I went back and just looked at the video right before I got on, I was thinking like, nah, it just seemed a little cowardly. It did seem cowardly because it's like, bro, like if you're going to go hit somebody, like it almost would have been, I would have understood it more if he would have just like ran in there, just reckless, boom, you know what I'm saying? But he kind of slowed down and then the ball hit the ground and he took a couple steps and then hit him. So it just seemed a little bit more calculated. But long story short, nobody needs to be receiving death threats. It is definitely not that serious. However, I would totally understand if, he was suspended for a game or, part of a game or something like that, just because, you know what I mean? When it comes to player safety, it's different when it's in the mix, but when it's a defenseless receiver 3 steps after the play, ball's already on the ground. We just got to be a little bit better with that. And I don't think that Henry Blackburn had any ill intentions. I don't think that he was trying to hurt Travis Hunter. Like I said, I think it was a weak hit. I really thought he was just trying to say like, yo, I'm here. Like, wake up. We're going to be here all day. Try that long ball again and we're gonna hit you in your mouth. Like I think that's what he was really trying to get at. That's what you do. Intimidation. It's big with football. It is what it is, but sometimes we can kind of just cross over that line, step over that line. And I think that's just what Henry Blackburn did. But just wanted to chime in on that because, come on, we got to chill with the death threats. And I think somebody brought up an interesting point that I just came across their post on Twitter. And they were saying, what would the energy be if Travis Hunter was the person in Henry Blackburn's position and he did exactly what Travis Hunter did? let's keep it real. We all love Colorado. We're rooting for Colorado. So we're looking at it with a certain level of emotional attachment to Colorado. If Travis Hunter did that, and let's say he was to get suspended, we'd be sitting here saying, like, come on, man, you can't suspend Travis, but here I am sitting here saying, I can understand a suspension, for a game or, part of a game with Henry. But to be totally honest, it's still, like I said, it was such a soft play. Like, I thought it was a cheap shot, but it was like a soft, cheap shot. So even then I would feel a little weird, with him getting suspended. But it just is what it is, because you did take a soft, cheap shot and it caused somebody to get injured. So, Travis got to miss a few games. So I couldn't be too mad at that. However, it's just we gotta sometimes take a step back. And that's a lot with all these death threats. For all the people with the death threats, maybe just put yourself in the shoes, or put Travis in Henry Blackburn's shoes. If he did that exact same thing, those same people that are making all the death threats, they just so emotionally invested in Colorado. They would be screaming, if that was called on, or if the roles were reversed, they would not have that same type of energy for Travis. But it is what it is. Take a step back. I'm glad that Travis and Dion made it clear. I didn't even see their videos, but I just saw that they made it clear that, nobody should be receiving death threats. So definitely glad that they did that. And that's all I got to say on that topic. So let's move on to the next. What do we have next here that we wanted to jump into? Oh, and while we're on the Dion topic, one of the things that came up that I was talking to my boy Bez about, and Bez, we were having an interesting discussion as far as like, how you feel about what Dion's doing, like him as a character. Do you think that he cares about his kids? Do you think that he cares about his players outside of his kids, I should say, outside of his sons? And Bez, he shared with me this video. Hold on. Deion Sanders. he shared with me this video, and Jason Whitlock, who let's keep it real, he been hating on Deion for a minute. He put up this. I don't even know how I'm going to respond to it, but I'm definitely going to put it up because there's two other things that I wanted to touch on with Deion. So let me share this real quick with y'all, and then let's see what y'all thoughts are. All right, so here we go.
Hank Zelinkus, he was the true freshman that got to start today at center. Hank,
I gotta run the video back.
Zelinkus.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking.
Hey,
yeah, he got the.
Let me run the video back.
Can you talk about Hank Zelinkus? He was the true freshman that got to start today at center. Hank Zelinkus.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking Hank.
Yeah, he got to start as a true freshman today at center. Can you talk about him?
It's hard. I was watching how everything flowed. I haven't watched film to see how he really performed.
His team, the starting center. And there's a difference between a center and a guard. There's a difference between a center and a nose tackle. Center is quarterback QB exchange. He works very closely with Deion's son, Shador. Deion don't even know who he is. But y'all think he's Nick Saban. Y'all think he's the greatest coach that's ever hit college football.
Hating on Jason Whitlock, hating a little bit, but we expect that. But as far as so Deion not knowing the center. When I was looking at it, and I'll be totally honest, when I was first looking at it, I was trying to give him the benefit of doubt. So I went into it thinking like, well, Deion, although, maybe when he was getting asked the question, what do you think about Hank such and such? He was just thinking like, okay, Hank, you don't know where this question is going to go. This guy, ain't a lot of Hanks out here. And he said there's a lot of Hanks. I don't know too many Hanks. But then, you know, when they said the center, I don't even think that he actually heard the rest of the question as far as like your center, you know, that played as a true freshman. I don't think Deion heard that. So it came across real awkward, you know, afterwards, but neither here nor there. You know, it just is what it is. You know, you gotta, regardless of whether I'm giving benefit of doubt, he should know when that name comes up. He should have known. I don't know what emotions he was going through. You know, these questions, Deion, we praise him when he's very sharp answering these questions off the cuff. So, you know, he's got to be held to the fire, or, you know, held to that same level of accountability when it comes to him making, you know, a little slip up. So it is what it is. But I got a question. So this is the second topic that I wanted to lead into. So as I was talking to Bez and he sent me this video, I think that whether or not Deion's a great coach, we've seen what he's done. He's already done something great just by what he's been able to do thus far. However, I think what's really going to determine how we look at him and how we view him as successful or not successful is when they lose. When they lose, how they respond. Are they playing the blame game? Are they playing victims? All these different things. How do they respond? It's very easy, you know, when you're winning to respond because it's all good. You know what I mean? You're getting love. It's very easy to be yourself, very easy to be laid back, all these different things. Talk your talk because everybody's looking at it in a favorable way. Or a lot of people are. You're going to get your haters. It is what it is. But they can only say so much because you're winning. You're actually producing. So when they lose, and I want to be clear, I hope they don't lose. I'm rooting for them. So I'm not one of these people that are just sitting here, you know, like waiting for Floyd Mayweather to lose just to see how he's going to respond. With Floyd, I never wanted to see Floyd lose. I don't need to see Eric shoot. All right, cool. Maybe, I guess we'll never know how he'll respond to losing. Cool. I'm cool with that. But I think with a lot of these kids, we're going to be able to see their character. We're going to be able to see their character. And let's be real. We saw a lot of their character. Their character was tested in this Colorado State game. Tested. So therefore, if they're, you know, for them to be mentally strong, because I don't know who had the better team. To me, Colorado State was playing better. Colorado just made the big plays during the big moments. But when it came down to it, when you looked at penalties, how many penalties Colorado State had compared to Colorado, and how Colorado was able to perform in those clutch moments when things just seem to be going wrong, back against the wall, only a couple minutes left, they got to drive 98 yards. They were mentally sharp, on point, didn't make any mental mistakes, stayed the course, stayed kind of just even keeled, all these different things. Even when, you know, Colorado State, they had a late hit on Shador, I believe it was targeting. All these different things were occurring, and Colorado was just on point. And you wouldn't necessarily just expect that or assume that just based on, you know, when you have a team that has been so out there, so confident. A lot of times we're questioning, you know, Deion being confident is one thing. Deion responding to a loss, Deion's going to say all the right things probably. It is what it is because he's already been through that. But what we're going to see, if Deion's coaching style, how it affects and plays out in the kids as far as how they respond when they lose, if they lose. So like I said, I'm not waiting for them to lose. I'm rooting for them. I hope they win every game. And I know that a lot of it's tough because I know a lot of values and lessons come through losses, but like I said, I'm rooting for them. I hope they win every game. It just is what it is. That's how I feel right now. And I think that they learned a lot of lessons you can learn a lot of lessons in a close loss too. So hopefully they learn those lessons. But like I said, I think as we just go throughout the season and they go through their ups and downs, whether they're winning, losing, whatever it may be, we're going to learn a lot about Deion's coaching style, the impact and how effective it is just based on how these young men are able to respond. So just wanted to leave that there.